Welcome to the EBFC Show, the easier, better for construction podcast. I'm your host, Felipe, Engineer Manriquez. This show is all about the business of construction.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the live stream. You are joining just in time for one of the most epic analog versus digital battles. And Jake, it's all digital right now. The music,
digital, baby.
The camera's digital. Kyle's computer's digital.
Maybe.
Yeah. His cell phone that we talked to him on earlier was definitely digital, not analog.
That was you called my rotary phone, dude.
So we're going to have a real good time today. People, if you're joining in on the replay, feel free to engage in the chat. We want to hear your comments and questions, and we encourage you to encourage Kyle on his transformation to going digital, which I'm just going to call it right now, Jake. It's going to possibly happen. Any predictions, Jake, before we break into the show for Kyle?
I think we're going to have a lot of folks from years before mine, if I could say that in the nicest way possible, that are a vestige of a pre-digital age that'll, of course, go, analog has this different extra stuff when you do it with your hands that opens neural pathways that is just different. And to all those people, I say good luck. Bring your arguments. I'll give it my best.
Yeah. I mean, what can you say to that, ladies and gentlemen? Other than the EBFC show is the podcast, and this is the live stream of the show. Shows drop every 2 weeks. Jake, your show will drop someday in the future. And Kyle, I welcome you to come on to the podcast as an actual guest and not just a debater. So the invitation has been
looking forward to it.
Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, look for Kyle in a future episode of the EBFC show. Shows drop every 2 weeks. And of course, we love lean construction and Scrum. And as you know, there will probably be some Scrum references. I got to say, Kyle, excuse me, producer, stop the music. So I was listening to Kyle's show. Before we get into it, Jake, Kyle was on a podcast. And I don't know if like you put me onto it or he said it somewhere in the back and forth in the comments. And Kyle, you remember whose show you were on? Jimmy
V. Parker's. Yeah.
Jamie V. Parker's show. He was on Jamie's show. Shout out to Jamie Parker. So let's give her a shout out. We'll give her points to her. Kyle, you basically said you do Scrum every day. I mean, we'll talk about that later.
He did basically say that.
How come you didn't say Scrum? Like, I think that's my first question. Before we even know who you are, why didn't you say Scrum on the show? Did Jamie cut it out in the editing?
No, I was trying to take a lead from Jake, and he dumbed down his book, no jargon, no lingo. I was trying to stay away from using any lingo in that podcast.
Damn, Jake.
Much appreciated. Oh my gosh.
I'm going to have to give a point to Kyle, like right out the gate. So when we get to the scoreboard,
I'm just going to kill Jake with kindness tonight. That's my game plan.
He's already got 2 points on the board, ladies and gentlemen. He's got one for borrowing from Jake's book and another one for using Scrum without jargon. So I love that. So let's get into the introductions. So, Kyle, welcome to the show. Please tell the good people of the world a little bit about yourself and what you hope to do here today.
Well, for those of you who don't know me, I'm a boy from a small town in Indiana called Brazil. I'm not from Brazil, South America, although I have been confused with being from there.
You strike me as a Brazilian.
Yeah. And I somehow made my way into banking about 7 years ago, and I haven't left. They haven't kicked me out, and I've been trying to foster all things continuous and process improvement in that world.
All right, then what else should we know about you, Kyle? I mean, you've been on other podcasts. Let's assume that the people listening and watching right now haven't seen you on the 12,000 podcasts you've been on.
To steal from one of my favorite gentlemen, Ron Burgundy, I don't know how to say this, but I'm kind of a big deal. People know me.
He's been on my show twice, so he's done something right.
Been on Jake's show, Jake and John's show, a quality podcast a couple times. Been on Jamie V's show. I've been on Mark Graven's, My Favorite Mistake. I did on there.
All right.
Been on the Gimba Academy podcast a couple of times as well. So I've made my rounds here on the podcast circuit the past couple of years, and enjoyed doing that. And it sounds like I'll be on the EBFC show as well here upcoming. So just add that to my resume as well. But I like
Depending
to
on
get out
how
there
this
and
goes.
talk about. Yeah,
He's got to come out no matter what. He's got to
I
defend.
might need some recovery time after this one because I feel like the deck here is stacked against me with you two.
It's definitely stacked against you. Definitely. So we want to also, what primary industry do you work in, Kyle? If you mentioned it just now, I missed it.
Banking, financial services.
All right. So it's like that type of stuff.
He's a glorified ATM.
Wow. Kyle, you don't have to let that
I wish I could be a glorified ATM, but I don't have that much cash to dole out. If I make it to that status, that means I've done something right.
Well, I'm going to give everybody the trigger warning. There might be dad jokes on this episode, so you've been warned, people. There's a feature on your computers, no matter how you're watching this live stream or replay. There's this thing called a like button, a pause button, and a turn off your device button. And if it's not for you, just walk away. It's okay. There's plenty of people here that want to get into analog versus digital visual management. So welcome, everybody. Jake, you're up. Kyle's passing the torch to you.
An introduction?
Yeah, you need one. Don't lose points at the beginning. Come on.
The funniest lean guy, the Lady Gaga of lean, the purveyor of infinite lean wisdom, the benevolent lean guru, the scrum daddy. I hope that one doesn't stick because that one's going to be terrible. I'm here for a good time. I'm here to be proven wrong because we've got an old soul in here that wants to stay analog, and I need to know why.
I'm only 5 years older than you, Jake.
That's my goodness.
Yeah, you're an analog.
We both know that the two guests today are both younger than Felipe. So, and I'm the one with all the controls in front of me. It says a lot. So I just love that we've got some fans in it. Looks like Kirby's here too, Jake.
Kirby's here. Love what
Kirby's
you're
here.
doing for the industry.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Kirby. Yeah, Jamie knows what you're talking about, Kyle.
Before my time, but
the big Thacker. Thacker's already trying to go to Switzerland. So we've got
sits in hybrid corner. Is that Switzerland or is that he's full digital?
We've got a place for that. It's right here. So you're going to put just a big old question mark on you on the hybrid. Oh, that was Josh is on the hybrid corner. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce myself while you take a look at what's going on here. My name is Felipe Engineer Manriquez. I'm the host of the Easier, Better for Construction podcast. Also, Jake, you forgot to mention you wrote this book called Chasing Excellence. And we've got Kyle might have a future authorship in his immediate future. And I've also got my books out there, Construction Scrum. If you're looking to learn how to apply Scrum in the construction industry, this is a great book to get in there. And on the check my contact link. It's got links to free chapters of the book. And Jake, you've also got in your LinkedIn profile contact link info with links to your website as well. And Kyle's got links to his. Where can people get a hold of you, Kyle?
His analog stuff?
Yeah. Where can people dial in that rotary phone?
Oh, my contact information is up to date on my LinkedIn profile. Shoot me a message, give me a call.
Perfect.
Come to my doorstep, whatever you want to do.
Carrier pigeon.
There we go. So worldwide viewers, we need to hear from you. Please exercise your fingers on your smart devices or your not so smart devices and tell us where are you watching from, and feel free to chime in if you're analog or digital. We'll start
Team Digital, baby. Comment Team Digital.
We're going to open up, just so people know, as you're starting to tell us where you're at, we are going to open up with some just laying the landscape and getting a foundation of what it means to be using visual management. And we've got lots of pictures. I've even scoured the internet and I found some interesting pictures of Kyle that are internet appropriate, Jake.
Not the pictures I have.
No. So we got already got Thacker. Where's Thacker? Who knows where he is? He'll tell us where he's at. Got Jamie is looking forward to the dad jokes. People, blow us up in the chat. Where are you calling in from?
Where are you calling in? Digital or analog? Come on, baby.
Assume that this
digital. Passenger pigeon.
the
hell? Not carrier pigeon, passenger pigeon?
Is that a good one, Jamie? That's a good one. So we got Ryan in from Japan, and he's going hybrid. He's going Switzerland with
pick a side, man. Just commit to something.
So, all right. So we've got two for Switzerland. Jake, you got to keep track of where these people are.
Ryan says starting with analog though, so
that's definitely a point for digital, just so you know. Okay. Welcome, Adrian.
I cannot believe you went full analog on me. You were my connection, not these guys.
We'll see if we can't sway him. And we got Valerie, Springfield, Missouri. Jake, how do you say my first name?
Felipe.
It sounds like you said Philip. Hey.
Yeah, Jake was watching. Valerie did an amazing live stream last week. I caught that too, Jake, when she said my first name. So thank you for bringing that. Valerie, it's Felipe, but it's okay. I'll answer to whatever you said too.
Felipe, baby. Felipe, baby.
Hal coming in with digital all the way from New Hampshire.
My man.
Awesome. Then we've got Rafa, Team Digital from Chicago.
Woo!
Already on Team Jake's side. Josh coming in from California. Hybrid Josh.
You know, he's been hybrid like 3 times in a row now, not trying to pick a side.
Every time you're on, Josh. It's okay. Yeah. We still appreciate you. Yeah. And Jamie's like, correction. Dallas.
Gooch area must be sore from all that fence squatting.
Yeah. We got Armando
from Japan. You are not in Japan, Armando.
Very suspicious of that. Jennifer is in Dallas, so thank you, Jennifer. Oh, she's been analog, but she's open, Jake. We can get her.
She's digital curious.
We got Jim, Cincinnati, the heartland, right? Jim. Knocking on Kyle's door, next door, digital. We got Bruce in from Santa Fe. He said AI in architecture, it's digital. Thank you, Bruce. That's awesome. We got the God's Country, Northern Wisconsin, Greg. We're going to assign Greg.
That's points for analog.
In Wisconsin, welcome to the podcast. Dave, Process Whisperer, Tennessee.
The Process Whisperer.
I'm putting anyone that doesn't say where they are, but they can use chat. They're digital, Jake, just so you know. Jamie's calling Adrian out.
Analog. That sounds gross.
The dad jokes.
Analog.
Oh, MJ is trying to come in hybrid. Henry's coming in California digital.
I liked you, Henry. I knew I liked you.
Yeah. Cody's coming in DTLA, digitally analog. That's Team Digital right there.
I'm counting that for analog.
Josh is like, too much analog, doesn't want to change. There you go, Jake. Now we know why. And it's not Kirby. It's North Carolina digital.
It's Kirby. Thank you, Kirby, for choosing digital.
All right. Jennifer is already going to get the Rafa special tomorrow. Sounds like she's going to get her way. All right, people. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And just to remind everybody a little bit, this live stream is absolutely not sponsored by anybody. However, we do have a purpose, Jake, and that purpose is
the EBFC show exists to serve people in the construction industry,
which includes people in definitely the financial area, Kyle. So you help to grease the construction wheel to make things happen. We appreciate you. And Jake, pretty much everything you do touches every industry worldwide. So
I'm happy to announce, Felipe, and you were the one that reviewed it. I've got my first construction blog coming out this week. My first 40 hours with boots on the ground, baby.
There you go. Yeah, Jake is, for those of you that don't know, he's spent some time shadowing. How many sites, Jake? 6 sites?
6 separate companies, all building different things.
6 separate companies. I can't wait to see that. And we'll definitely have to tag back in links in the show notes to that blog post, Jake, when it goes live, so that people watching this on the replay can get their hands on what I think is some very profound. Jake gave me a sneak peek, very profound insights.
Did that hard hat come in handy, Jake?
It did. It made some beautiful selfies too. If anybody wants the premiums, just send me a DM.
if anybody wants to get his OnlyFans to see him in the hard hat, just go ahead and contact him directly. Do not message me about that at all. I will not respond. All right, we've got Davis in New Orleans. I'm going to put Davis
Team
on
digital.
digital. He's Team Digital, 100% Davis. You're on Team Digital. You have a podcast, so don't try to come at me with analog. Okay.
Wait, Dave has a podcast?
Yeah, Davis has a podcast.
And
Well, you have
just
to
because
advertise a
you
little.
use digital doesn't mean you're against digital.
We didn't say, yeah, that's right. He's not against digital, Kyle. Thank you. Extra points for Kyle for making our points, Jake. I love that. So we're going to go to opening remarks. I'm going to peel back a little bit, and I'll let the audience take that in, take in those visuals. Let me tighten that up a little bit. Put us all aside.
My fat head's in the way of it for some folks.
Yeah, I'll get you kicked to the side. There you go. Okay, people. So we'll let everybody take that in. Let's get some drum roll while people check that out. Okay, that's all the drum roll you get. I guess it's going to be a quick read.
little quick drum roll.
Let's get here. I'll get a here. This is more appropriate. The suspense of where we're going to go with the pointing too. So, visual management. MGMT stands for management. In case you were wondering, Kyle. I'm just kidding.
Oh, it's like MGM Grand with a T after it or something.
Yeah. No free advertising, Kyle. No free advertising. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a gambling problem, seek help. Okay, so we've got I don't know how that emoji got next to your name, Kyle. Maybe it was this finger and this
the
mouse.
sad one.
Yeah, the sad one. This one right here.
Again, I think it's because the two other people on this show are my opponents. So
Wait, we have a non-biased judge here. Felipe is here to be in the middle of the road, to be pro Switzerland.
he it's in writing. He's pro digital.
I came out, Jake. Remember, I said I'm not sitting this one out this time. People have spoken, and they said get up in there, just like our friend George. George said Manchester
Digital baby.
Well, that's right. And Jamie is already starting to have visions of your hard hat.
All right, a button's coming off every time Kyle makes a good point.
Yeah, and even John's appreciating George to see us hanging out with all of us, even though he's half asleep. By his own words, not my words. People,
he's in the UK, so it's like hello in the morning.
Yeah, no, Jamie, it's not bootleg. It's full.
It's
full
directly Jeopardy.
Yeah, it's 100% real. Yeah, we've already got Ruby's already clapping for all the digital. She's appreciating it. Yeah,
or is that
Jamie knows I identify as digital. Yeah,
He does.
No surprise.
He does.
Okay. So, all right. So now we've got the foundation is there, ladies and gentlemen. The foundation is there. Let's sneak peek over to the scoreboard to see how it's going to get judged. We've got in the comments, you can chime in at any time. You can use
the analog is so good. The A for analog. It's like I wrote it.
Yes, thank you. I did my best to write the analog. And then we've got the D for digital. You can switch sides at any time. We will be keeping track as we go to opening remarks. And then we're going to be scoring it in a friendly manner where the winner gets the star trophy and the loser gets, as my son said as a child, you get the small red trophy. But if you check on your screen, you'll see that I made the red trophy equally sized. It just doesn't have the good star. And I'm foreshadowing here that analog's already in red. So figure that out. But as I promised, we're gonna give Kyle some early points.
Pride goeth before a fall.
He opened up the call today referencing my book. He definitely gets a point for that.
He gets a point for that, so he's automatically
anyone in the audience, if you switch from analog or fence to digital today, I will send you a copy of my book.
There you go. You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. The classic Jake, he's just a giver. He's ready to give you a copy of his book if you come.
And I'll give it to you in an analog fashion.
No, paper.
Digital, your preference. Don't care.
And I don't. I'm gonna have to unpack this one for me, Jake. You know Thacker better.
Personally, yay me Knox. I suspect Felipe is actually a T800. I'm pretty sure that's a version of Bulldozer. used in construction sites, used to even the dirt right before the foundation is laid. Don't know why he would say that.
Yeah, don't know why. So we'll go back to opening remarks, and we're going to let Kyle take as much time as you need, Kyle, to tell us your thoughts on analog visual management.
All right. First off and foremost, I'm here to have fun, hopefully learn something, and I am not wholly against digital visual management. I will put that out there.
Sounds like that's a point for digital, Jake. I'll get that fixed while he goes. Keep going, Kyle.
No, I'm here. I've grown up 5 years longer on this earth than Jake. I've come up through the ranks using many analog tools, and I have found that using paper, pen, marker, whiteboards, what have you, tape, whatever you need to create some physical visual management tool, you have to have a process and a discipline to follow in order for that tool to work. And doing that through a manual analog fashion, I found has helped me personally build the mental and muscle memory, if you will, to follow the discipline and the process needed to make that visual management tool useful. And that's why I tend to start with it. I always start with an analog visual first before trying anything in the digital space.
Okay, well, we'll pause for awkward pausing, Jake.
And I have one more comment on digital, but I'll say that for the end. I think it's Achilles' heel. I'll just throw it out there, but I'll save that for the end. Just
Okay, Jake. I think you got something to go with.
Play me some music.
Okay.
Oh, he gets music?
Yeah, there we get you.
Anyone who requests gets music.
That's right.
I want to read you. I want music.
Okay. We'll get. There you go, Kyle. There's your redo music.
If you need digital help.
Kyle, there was Kyle thinking about the mistakes he made today by coming onto this live stream and not being prepared. When Felipe offered him a chance to add to the mural, he turned him down, saying, "No, Felipe, I have hand notes that I'll be able to convey to the audience without any visual cues whatsoever," completely contradicting the fact that I like visual management. I talk about visual management, and yet when I was given the chance to use visual management, I declined. Okay.
I'm regretting my decision to come on this show right now.
All right, Jake, I got some marching music, so march us up in there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, most people that are ancient pro-analogers, as I like to call that last generation, all have one thing in common. If you really listen and defenestrate what Kyle's opening statement was, he literally said the dimming lean no-no, which is, but we've always done it this way. But we've always done it this way. Jake, but change is hard, and we've always done it like in a way that we used to doing it where I feel safe. And I challenge you that most people, why they move analog to digital is because they live in a pre-digital world. But even moving forward, they lack the skills, tools, resources that are widely available, such as Airtable, Google Sheets, Zapier, free tools that can automate and put together a robust way to view your systems for free. You don't need internet access. You don't need to connect to a system. You don't need these other deliverables you might throw on top of it if you don't honestly know what you're doing. All you need is a TV screen and some brain noggin, some knowledge, some wisdom, and to get out of your old ways and innovate, baby. Insane.
All right. Now let's give it up to both opening statements so far. Okay, now I'm gonna take advantage of what I have here at my disposal. So there we go. I've got this board. I want to show the audience Exhibit A. I'm going to open up all of mine digital. So let me enter into the argument here. Kyle's post from LinkedIn now was 5-ish hours ago, and I snapped a screenshot. He's talking about visual management fundamentals, which I agree with Kyle. Like what you got there, it did not leave the crickets when I read this. It got some really good engagement. If we go down and see what Kyle was talking about, he called out Jake, totally forgot that I was going to be battling him. So that's an automatic going to lose another Another point on there. Double buzzer. We're missing that I'm going to be in this. I voted digital, of course. Now, people that voted here, which do you support using first? It's a loaded question. So right out the gate, statistically, a better question to ask would have been giving people options instead of pigeonholing people into the one-way answer. So I'm going to call shenanigans on the way you worded the question, Kyle, to self-serve. And I also want to
First,
clarifying question, Kyle. Kyle, did you go to school at Indiana State University?
I did.
Is that was there a famous basketball player that went to school there?
There was.
And what was his name, Kyle?
Larry Bird.
Enter Exhibit B for the evidence here. Larry Bird, number 33, Indiana State University, played basketball, and they had a scoreboard that was analog or digital, Kyle?
That looks digital to me.
That's digital. Ladies and gentlemen, digital. So there's on the exhibit. Now, Kyle's going to have you all believe that analog is the great way to start based on what he said. And I'm borrowing, since he didn't give me any pictures, I'm borrowing some from my friend, Mr. Paul Dunlop.
Mr. Dunlop.
Shout out to Paul, amazing human being. He loves to share his visuals. Yeah, extra points for Paul. So here Paul is showing some examples of some analog whiteboards. Do you approve of these, Kyle?
Yeah, if they solve a need.
There you go. If they solve a need. So that's a good answer. If they solve a problem. And here's some more, the classic safety, quality, delivery, and cost. Super classic. And then it's the ability to update them. Is very easy, very simple, arguably. It's got some simple Kanban going on down here. And even a smiley face, Kyle. Look at that.
Oh, that's
even
creative.
Dot smiley face, which I approve of that. And Paul, you'd think that he's only analog, but you'd be mistaken if you keep looking at his content and you go a little bit deeper. We're talking about going digital. And yes, in fact, that is a screen, and that is actually not been wordsmith. That is his actual post, which you all can see 1 month ago on LinkedIn. He posted this about going digital. And this, the only thing I put here is the arrow under the word yes, Kyle, so that you can see that in this digital whiteboard that we're playing with, you got to follow the dots and the arrows. And the arrows.
The leading expert in lean, Mr. Dunlop himself.
Mr. Dunlop himself says, make it a seamless and go digital. And he said, don't get left behind, Kyle. Don't get left behind.
I can read. Thank you for that.
I'm so glad you can read. And there we see people making the transition or growing up, as some might say, Jake, from analog to digital.
He commented on one of my posts with this image, and he said, well, the short answer is both. And I chopped out everything from that guy's yellow back onward. I said, I fixed your photo for you.
Yeah, so look like
So
this.
you cut a guy's arm off. That was nice of you, Jake. That was
digital,
very,
baby.
very respectful.
Digital, baby.
But he's got some more posts I'm just going to show where he's talking about the power of going digital. And now he's showing people, look at that smiling face, Kyle.
Gosh.
That is Paul himself in front of that same screen. And we see the same engagement with the employees. I just want to give a shout out to Rafa. Shout out to Rafa.
Whoop.
Also gave us some digital,
Hell yeah.
digital pictures here, Rafa. So there we see a construction person looking at a digital planning board, Kyle. And it's also synchronized to their iPad so that it goes everywhere they go. I think I remember somebody talking about that on a podcast, Kyle. Kyle, you mentioned you were on Jamie's podcast. And ladies and gentlemen, if you go to the Lean Leadership for Ops Managers podcast, find the Kyle episode. I believe it was episode 74. You want to just jump all the way to minute 1954 when Kyle says, and now I'm going digital.
Oh, out of your mouth.
Did you ask the follow-up?
I did not. I don't need a follow-up.
Unnecessary.
Stop listening after that, Kyle.
We'll talk about
Yes.
that. I knew you
No,
would bring this up because I
you-
specifically told you to go listen to the end of that episode, didn't I?
I did. I did listen to the whole show, but it was just funnier to say. Then I hit pause and I stopped. I turned it off.
Can I just ask, Kyle, did you provide this photo?
To Jamie?
Uh-huh.
I provided the headshot and the background photo, and she put them together.
Why do you look like such a golden goddess in this photo? Like, I need to figure out how that was accomplished.
Because
like, I see your
Jamie
photo
is
right
a
up on my-
magician,
Good
and she
God.
can make even the ugliest of souls look
Oh, no.
just magnificent on.
I signed up for a show and
here.
she sent me back an apology letter. Like, I can't do this.
Well, I got to go back to, according to people in the audience, people being Josh. Josh says that the scoreboard was not digital when Larry Bird went to school there in 1976, 1979. Josh, I'm going to have to ask you to send us a picture of that scoreboard, because in my research using the electronic digital internet did not produce such results. So thank you for that. We've got Armando's like, we got the touches are coming out. That's touche, Jake. It's Friday.
Tooch, Armando. Tooch, all the way from Japan. Tooch.
Jennifer's like, I think Jennifer might be a Larry Bird fan.
I think
So
she
they're
is.
like-
She's probably related. Have you met her? She's like 6'20".
I can only imagine at what point did Jennifer say that this is the I'm regretting showing up when she was
Thanks,
quoting,
Dad.
this quoting Kyle. So yeah. Yeah,
So
Jennifer.
Kyle, defend yourself. Why
Yeah,
would you?
hold on, there's more, Jake. There's more.
Oh.
I got just a little bit more, then we'll go to the audience to see if we've swayed them yet. So if they didn't get swayed by Kyle's own words or by the
Taken out of
magnificent
context.
the magnificent Paul Dunlap, who looks awesome when he's keeping his hair clean, or Bosch Refine My Sight. I also want to show that in everyday life, we already have examples of digital dashboards, like in health apps. These are just screenshots from the App Store taken today. I just put in dashboard, and magically crayons and paper didn't come up in the App Store. But I said we got these beautiful digital dashboards that give rich information, tracked in real time, make it easy. Anything from steps to calories, climbing stairs, running. Then we've got, with the power of digital, Kyle, there's some benefits. And I know you've got your list of benefits for analog, but we've got asynchronous or synchronous backup across devices so that people's lives can be as detailed as necessary, solving problems that they have, and also getting, reports on the regular, be it daily, weekly, or monthly. And then we've even got, we've got apps that can aggregate data and help to break it down so you can understand how crushed you're getting in this fight right now. If you needed to, if we needed to, we could. And we also
need to know that. Is it useful? Is it meaningful?
I mean, it is for me. It just brings joy to my
Does
heart.
it help you sleep better at night, Felipe?
Yeah. It does. Just
There's ego measurements. There's an app for that.
Absolutely. Like here's the, you need
You're showing a lot of really good dashboards right now, but a dashboard isn't necessarily visual management. Just having a dashboard is not visual management.
That's absolutely correct. So go ahead and elaborate on that, Kyle, and then Jake and I will lay you down.
Dashboards are great for showing all this information, as long as that information that it's showing is solving a problem. It's solving a need that's within its context. The one thing that I find organizations they have dashboards. That's nothing new. We have them where I work. The problem with them is they tend to get hidden. There's excitement in building them. Everyone sees, oh, this is really cool. We have this data. We can drill down, drill up, sideways, and it's really cool. And after a week, everyone forgets about it because there's no engagement with it. Management isn't asking questions about what's on the dashboard. One thing that I've learned is that without any management standard work, like I said in my post, to go along with the visual, it crumbles, because visuals without management standard work is just wallpaper. And then management standard work without visuals is just corporate tourism. And so there's a yin and a yang there. So having dashboards is great. Starting off with them being digital, you can try that. But what I found in my experience is that there's excitement at the beginning, they get used in the beginning, and then they peter off and die very shortly afterwards.
I got to give Kyle a point. Kyle, you're going to get a point for using the phrase corporate tourism. So that's going to get you points in my book. And we definitely have some common ground. Jake, you have any rebuttals to Kyle on that?
Yeah, you said a lot of great stuff. Like 100% I agree with, but none of them touted why analog would come out superior to anything within that argument. You started with, well, it's great, but then they peter off. That happens in analog all the time. You don't know how many warehouses, sites I go through that I'm peeling off visual management from 3 years ago. John and I would tell a hilarious story at another time of where there was employee suggestions nearly a decade old. Like you had to move dust just to see where they were permanently imprinted on the ground with an analog system, I might add. So then your part about management strategy and having a management standard work also agreed, but you didn't really sell how analog is better for that versus digital, in which case I don't see where you made a point that analog comes out superior.
I don't see where you made a point that digital comes out superior.
All right. Well, let me start there. Let me start with the pro digital stats that Felipe didn't run through on the board. Number 1, easier, better, faster. And who can appreciate that? Felipe, baby. Easier, better,
Josh.
faster. Josh, Adam's brother, Josh. Nice to meet you. Easier, better, and faster. That is exactly what we're trying to accomplish in the digital landscape. Not a guy with a pencil going, there's 50 things for me to update. 1 or 2, yeah, it's probably inconsequentially different. But when you manage 5 metrics in like SQDCP or whichever nomenclature you like to use, and you're using boards similar to the one Paul showed originally in an analog state, it can be a 5 or 10 minute process. And you can actually get it wrong and have to re-erase and play around with exactly how you markered in something. Whereas you can accomplish it pretty immediately on a computer with very little time loss. So first is easier, better, faster. The second is, and I think a very overlooked one, is keeping stakeholders who are not physically present informed. I got a VP on a beach somewhere, rolls up at 6 a.m, has his coffee and goes, you know what I want to see? I want to see how shitty my warehouse is doing today. And he wants to crack open his website or his phone or whatever and see exactly how we're doing. And this gives you a mode to precisely do that with stakeholders, good, bad, or indifferent, for everyone. Whereas in the analog world, unless you take a picture and send it in the mail, this is just not an option we have available to us. So that's why I'm Team Digital, baby.
Yeah, we've also got in the chat, we've got Armando. After hearing from Kyle, he went all digital. So Armando has turned, Jake.
He wants to be a robot himself.
I'm sending you a book, Armando. Thank you for turning off the fence.
There you go.
All right.
All the way to Japan.
I have two comments to Jake's statements there.
We said, hold on. Before that, we got a housekeeping on Armando's books. Jake, he's still waiting on those encyclopedias.
So if you don't know Kyle, 3 debates ago, I said I would send you a book. He goes, well, I don't want your book. I'd rather have an encyclopedia. So he's expecting the Merriam-Webster or something to come in the mail.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so you were saying, Kyle, go ahead.
Yeah, so your VP on the beach, very good point. If he wants to use his cell phone to check on how his warehouse is doing, and he can do that with a digital application, great. That works if you have a VP that likes to consume information in that way. Unfortunately, many do not right now. I've tried that with them, and they just simply, they won't do it. Does that mean that they should be open to going digital? Absolutely, but that's I found greater adoption early on with analog. The other point is of easier, better, faster. Yes, it's easier to update and maintain. It updates faster. What about when you have to change how whatever metric it is that you're measuring? What happens when you change that? How easy is that to change in a digital world?
If you're sufficiently, that was like in my opening statement, is because there's a lot of misconception where people try to use a paid tool or service that spits out data in a graph a very specific way. And then you want to change what you're measuring and go, I can't, this sucks. But with sufficient wisdom, the Google Sheets world, Airtable, you can accomplish anything you want to see in seconds. So then adjusting where I want to see a speedometer for a process, then cutting all the way back and go, I want a box and whiskers chart. Like you could just click a couple of buttons and have it in 90 seconds. What I found is really common is the pro analogers in the world, the Kyle Kumps of the world, those people, they don't have that wisdom. They don't have that knowledge. So they stick with what they know and they continue going, I've always done it this way, Jake. I've always done it this way. Always done it this way.
Yeah. Hey, Kyle, I don't know what's going on with the mural board, but it's just all
I
these
know.
hearts.
I see all these hearts going for digital, and I'm like, and they're coming out of Jake's box here on my screen.
There were some hearts in the beginning that went for analog, but I think now it's clear that the points are going digital. We've got, the back and forth. We had some common ground. You started strong. I'm even going to give you a point because you had some people in the early comments, Kyle, before we went live, people in the chat had said they're on Team Analog. And now we've had Armando switch over. We've had Josh come out of Switzerland and come over to Team Digital. So there's a couple more people.
I'm happy Josh picked a side. I'm happy that he can now put a stake in the ground and say, I'm digital.
He can get off the fence because it hurts.
Let's celebrate that. So that's gorgeous.
Team, share your thoughts in the comments. If you are Team Analog, why are you Team Analog? Give us some discussion points there to reflect on. Why are you pro analog? I know Kyle's mentioned some items about adoption rates. Kyle, are there anything else you've left on the table for why you wouldn't go digital right out of the gate?
Yeah, well, and while the people do that, we've got, I think Armando's coming back in there. He's the robot comment. We saw this comment new from Bruce. Said the brain can process 660,000. Excuse me. My brain is processing extra zeros today for free. 60,000 times faster than text. So no question that in both systems, it works to something that our minds are more tuned for, which is visual cues. Mm-hmm. Josh is still claiming he lives in a hybrid world, but we've already counted your points from your previous comment, Josh.
No going backwards.
Digital. So we've got you on digital. And I'll bring that back up while Kyle gets his thoughts. I'm just going to show comments that show digital as Kyle talks. So just in case you're wondering, Kyle.
Oh, so you want to make the argument? I'm gonna softball you as you go into your thoughts.
You want to make the argument about you're looking for points to align with your.
I said I'm just going to highlight in the text where I see the word digital. If I find analog, I'll let it stay on the screen. But so far in the comments, your fans did not come to the live stream. Kyle's fans, Team Analog, where are you? In the comments, I'm scrolling down looking for you, and all I see is...
Oh, we've got one from Ken.
Oh, here we go. We got
Jake see comments, and I can't. What's up with this? Why?
I don't know why you can't.
You can't see them?
There's a box called comments.
From private chat, you click over to comments, then you can see stuff.
Click on comments.
And I'm just stumbling over Felipe because I've been...
Yeah. All right. And we've cracked up.
Here's a comment.
Yeah. So we're almost down to where Kim is.
Yeah, pull up old Ken because we have some discussion points, and then Josh is getting his nose wet in construction.
Hey,
oh my gosh!
Ken, analog is persistent. Digital says you can hide from view with the click. Ooh, sounds like something else is going on there.
Tends to happen quite often.
Well, I don't disagree that you could click a button and hide your digital from a view. The same way you could hide your analog by just flipping over a piece of paper or whatever, or hiding somebody's crayon so they can't fill it out. But
it takes a lot more intent to flip around a piece of paper that's taped up on a wall than it does to click a button.
To your earlier point about why senior leaders,
points there.
Why senior leaders like to adopt the analog first is here's a very, I'm going to say, excuse my French, shitty reality that we live in. And that's because the analog update doesn't require them to actually do anything. So, yeah, you guys do good with your updates and stuff. And whenever I go for my corporate tour, it'll look nice. And we can talk about it whenever you want to talk about it. But the only way you have an engaged leader, if you have an engaged leader, then your tool almost doesn't matter. I agree. You could survive and do great wonders with an analog. I've done it before in plenty of systems. You can do great wonders and accomplish a lot of stuff in digital. A lot. But all the excuses as to why you would or wouldn't are generally just biased around, I've always done it this way.
Yeah, and I would agree if that's the answer. I've always done it this way, or we've always done it this way. That's an excuse. Like I said, I'm not solely against digital and only pro analog. It's what makes the most sense for whatever the context or the environment is for the work being done or what it is that you want to know about.
This is a deep comment on the screen here, just because thinking of Kyle as a sticky note, stickies can fall off.
I'm sorry, Kyle. Kyle, and this is all in good fun, Kyle, just to show.
Yes, I absolutely know.
I want to just make sure we're going to do a quick mental health check.
Don't worry, I'm waiting to just drop my little grenade in the middle of all this here in a minute.
Okay,
I'm excited for that. Josh is way out of his depth here, so I'm going to attack this guy personally, especially in the construction industry. The cost and complexity of digital early on in the project doesn't really allow for digital tracking. But that is where you are wrong, my friend. Now, people want to jump to a Hoyloo, to a last planner system. They want to jump to a mural with a subscription plan for enterprise-wide that I absolutely agree makes zero sense. But what if I told you, and for all the people in any industry in this audience listening to me anywhere in the world, I could make you that for free, with nothing but my time, which I will charge you for my time. But I could make you any of those solutions, as customized, as adaptable, as adjusted as you want, for free. There's no subscription. There's no I have to buy this plan. There's no download this app. There's no nothing. Those tools exist and they're widely available. It's just whether the folks in charge or not actually know about it.
Absolutely true. So the people, I mean, there's definitely can be a growth mindset where people are actively learning and trying new things. I mean, Jake did not go to school for understanding these digital solutions, and Kyle did not go to. You didn't go to financial school, Indiana State. What did you study?
Go to analog school, did he?
You didn't go to analog school.
I went to engineering school.
You went to engineering school, ladies and gentlemen. Engineering school, just like so. We've got two engineers on the live stream today. What type of engineering, Kyle?
Packaging
Engineering. I went for electrical engineering. Hence all
I thought you married into being an engineer.
I also married into being an engineer. Get all the fancy.
Oh, I could have gone that route.
Yeah. You can always upgrade and marry up if you're watching this live, hon. These hearts are for you right now.
So she must be an industrial engineer.
No, I'm just putting her on digital side. You can make a comment if you disagree with me, but otherwise it's all digital. And so, yeah, there were many projects. I remember being on a construction project, Josh, in the early 2000s. So not too long ago. And we had at the time, there were some free, I don't want to give free advertising to these companies, but there are definitely, like Jake's saying, there are some free solutions. I mean, I'm using a digital solution for my Scrum that's still free since I've been using it since 2015. Still free. It's called Trello.
I remember high school.
Yeah, Trello, if you're listening, I'd love you to talk to you about sponsorship of the show. I'm a huge fan of your work, Trello. And I know that Team Trello is also a Scrum team. And so what I'm just saying, as I zoom back and show all this digital glory, let me get us out of the way here so that people can see all the fantastic digital solutions. And I just want to quickly talk. Yeah, early 2000s was like 20 years ago. I know, Josh, we're starting to show our age.
I remember the 6th grade.
Yeah. But even things like when Scrum first came out, and I just got some pictures here from the 2019 Scrum Master trends, just because I promised Jake I would talk about Scrum, and Kyle brought it up first in his podcast. So here we've got some more digital, beautiful charts showing Scrum adoption of Scrum Masters worldwide. And we've got this, these charts can be made analog, no doubt, Kyle, no doubt. But imagine you're doing a survey and you're surveying thousands of people across the world. Do you want to draw this by hand, Kyle? No, you don't. You hesitate.
I enjoy drawing. I find it therapeutic.
The answer is no. He didn't want to draw it by hand. He hesitated, ladies and gentlemen. He hesitated.
This is a lose-lose for me. I've accepted that.
Answer this question. Nope, can't answer.
You get points for trying and not hanging up, so I appreciate that, Kyle. I like how Armando's like, he's schooling people in the chat. Good job, Armando. Way to show.
I went to your site and it had insufficient visual management, and I want the whole world to know that. So don't take Josh's side too fast, sucker.
Wow. Shots fired, ladies and gentlemen. I got
Kyle, I'm coming to your bank, and if there's insufficient visual management, I'm coming for you too.
Well, you'll find a ton of insufficient visual management.
That's what we got.
We have lots of room for improvement in that space.
We've got some beautiful. I just want to go back to Scrum for a second while I wash away those gunshots. Okay.
Oh,
So
sorry. Was Jake firing something at me? I felt like a tickle on my. I don't.
he was, and even Josh is like, you've got the deck stacked against you. He's trying to be helpful.
I knew that going in, Josh, but thank you for
He's definitely trying to.
empathizing with me.
You got a friend there.
Yeah, you definitely got to further. My point is that some of the digital helps to really communicate. Like if I was to tell you that a Scrum Master of the United States can earn somewhere on the average side of 113,000 a year, versus other countries, maybe South America, 43,000 a year, you get an idea of where I'm talking about, what it is visually, quickly, fast, and you can one click of a mouse, you can dial in on those and see like a Pareto style chart of distribution. And you can also,
I don't think you know what a Pareto is since you worded it that way.
that's okay. A Gaussian chart turned sideways.
Boom! Nobody's safe here. Nobody's safe here, Felipe. Don't you
Hey,
think for a
ladies and
second you're
gentlemen,
on the same team?
It's a Gaussian chart turned sideways. I said you could Pareto. I didn't say this is a Pareto.
No, you said Pareto-like chart. You said Pareto-like chart, and that is
Yeah.
in the world forever, so people can go
Yeah.
back and review.
People-
You don't
you
know
can
your
go
charts,
back-
buddy.
You can go back and rewind that Jake doesn't hesitate. He'll even shoot his own partner. My God, Jake. Gangster. Okay. And then I was
Kyle's holding back some secret sauce for
yes,
pro
he's got
analog
some
people,
secret-
isn't he?
and we got even more so that very complex survey data to quickly analyze it. And you can see here, this is a Pareto style chart that's on the screen now. Jake, do you agree?
No, I don't agree. It is not a Pareto chart.
Because it's not turned sideways. All right.
Not only does it not turn sideways, but it
Well,
doesn't
at
have
least
any
that
true
one's
bar
in.
that tells you what the primary gap is.
Okay, there you go. All right, Jake.
Ah!
There's one thing you'll notice: all the pictures of the physical boards and the screens from our good friend Paul, those are all in some type of a production environment. In his world, there looks like manufacturing, but even if you were in an office, you would still see those in a cube farm where work is being done. So like in a loan administration department at a bank where they're boarding loans, or in an underwriting department where they're underwriting credits. Those are all located where work is being done. And so the measures that you see there are typically not going to be as complex as survey data that's surveying thousands or maybe even tens of thousands of people across the world, and you have to filter through that. That's not as actionable as that, what I'll call line side data that you would see on a screen like that. So just to distinguish that type of information, I hope you wouldn't be posting that on some type of a visual board, digital or analog, because I don't really know how useful that would be in helping people get work done right now today.
So you're
Yeah.
hiding something secret for us, aren't you, Kyle?
Yeah, and
So
according
all
to
this digital stuff is great.
Armando says that he's gonna. Is he outing you here, Kyle? Is this where you're going? Just so you can.
My question was going to be, what are you going to do when there's an EMP? So
There you go. Wow, Armando, did you guys work together?
We did not, but that was my one thing at the end. But actually, to dig back into that a little bit more, I don't know all the regulations for other industries, but in banking, you're required to have a business continuity plan. So even if there is some natural or major disaster, there are still some core functions that you have to be able to do. So I work for a company that's across multiple states. So if here in Iowa, where I am, we have some major inland hurricane called a derecho that comes through and knocks out our operations center here. We still have customers in California, Texas, New Mexico, and other states. Yes, they feel bad for us that we're going through that, but they still want to be able to have their bank transactions go through. They want loan payments to go through and all that stuff to work. And so we, by rule, have to have certain applications that are back up and running very quickly within a short amount of time, just do the basic core functions of our business to keep it running here. And that requires a list of here's critical applications that have to be back up. Whatever application is running your digital, it's probably not going to make that list of critical applications that has to be put back up. Yes, it's nice to have that, but they're going to say, sorry, that's not a critical function of the business. You're not going to have that back up and running for you and updating every minute, every second, like it was before. So in that case, if that were to happen, you'd be out of luck with digital. Analog would still be able to work just like it was business as usual.
I don't disagree with the assessment. However, managing for an exception it's not the way to go. It is not the way to go. That is invoking the numero uno.
That's where I was going to go, like the one-off exception. What do you do for the 9,999 other days of your lifetime when that doesn't happen, Kyle?
Well, when aliens come and they want to see digital and all the analog people are around, you need to prepare for that eventuality.
I love that. So I think.
What about bringing a kid to work day and the kids pull the plugs?
Yeah, you just
Daddy, what's this do?
You just plug it back in. That's how you solve that problem.
You just plug it back in. Now, just like you bring your kids to work and they crayon all over your visual analog management. And guess what? Can't plug that back in.
Nope. Once it's lost, it's lost. That's so cute. So we've got just a couple of minutes left, a couple more comments in the chat, and it looks like there's going to be another point for digital. Bruce is coming in saying, manually executed projects often get bogged down in information chaos. Construction site becomes a black box of information. Absolutely, Bruce. Thank you for that. Ladies and gentlemen, take the time to get on your fingers, get on the chat, and tell us what side you're on.
Can I share my screen here? I want to show a visual that I find.
We're going to share a screen. Let me take this down. And while Kyle brings his screen up, people, we got to know who's going for analog. Because
who's analog, who's digital, baby?
Digital's going. Cody's coming in. Kids want to go digital too.
I'm one of your kids, Cody. Digital, baby.
So I'm putting the questions in. You should be able just to share your screen anytime now, Kyle. Go for it. It's all digital. So you ready?
All digital.
The audience see this?
They can see it now.
All right. This is one of the cons to digital. Is you tend to want to measure way too much, and this cartoon from the Marketunist captures it beautifully. So I'll leave this here as if people are making the final decisions whether they're going to be digital or analog.
Our new dashboard has all the different KPIs we can track now. What's that KPI trending to 0? It measures how well we understand them all.
So I think
but it's all written in analog, baby.
With analog, you're going to be forced to measure only what you need to. With the digital,
how so? Give me how so.
Because it does take time. It takes effort to update. So why measure 10,000 different things? Pick the 3 you need to keep track of that tell you how to tell you how your operation is running. So versus the digital dashboard where you have people come in from all over the place. Oh, let's measure this. Let's measure that. And it's very easy to add it. And there's very little behind the scenes work to maintain it. But then it creates a very flooded screen that hides information that's really useful to the people using that to drive their operation.
Robots, baby. Thank you, Mondo.
We got Ken is still in favor of analog, and that's what this point was here. This was Ken's point that I put there, Kyle. Full transparency. And Dwan coming in with, isn't this whole live stream digital? It is, Dwan. Yeah, we're just going to nickname him Digital Dwan.
Digital Dwan?
It is, but a live stream
glad
is
you
a
said
digital
his name because I'm
management
like, Doan, I agree with you.
It's Dwan. And Cody with some more Deming. And I know that Kyle is a massive Deming fan, as am I. Kyle, you and I have that in common against Jake. Yeah, Jake. Kyle and I love Deming, so shots fired, Jake. That's against you.
Yeah, if I wanted to put outdated 14 things you could do better, as I proved on a live, I could do that in about 30 seconds. So great job, Timmy.
Cody is typically a Drucker comment, but that's all good. Armando said, Dawn, no, it's analog. No, Armando, it's digital. It's on digital. So let's get the music up for the ceremony. It was great. We had
Hey, wait, can we go to the LinkedIn survey and add those votes in there and see who comes out on top?
Oh, we did have some of those.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we can put one vote for that. So we gotta.
Sure, Kyle. We'll give you one more meaningless vote.
Yeah, don't worry. Kyle, you learned. You got the red trophy.
You got to participate.
In this debate, there are winners, and then
I'd rather not get a trophy at all.
there are no losers here, Kyle. There are just winners and learners. And so thank you everybody for joining us. We are coming to the end of our time box, our beautiful time together. You've all been amazing. Kyle, your digital transformation is incredible. I love the progress and the growth that we saw on this podcast. So thank you so much.
If you or one of your loved ones is struggling with analog, please call 1-800-GO-DIGITAL. Reach out directly to Felipe. Reach out directly to me 24/7. The last thing you want is to come home after a long, hard day at work and your spouse, your loved one, a close friend, you found them sitting on the floor. Analog.
Going through this type of mental torture the past hour, it makes sense because I'm also a golfer and I'm constantly mentally torturing myself playing that game. So it just makes sense that I put myself through this intentionally, but I thoroughly enjoy it and look forward to coming back for more on another topic.
Yeah, we'd love to have you on, Kyle. And remember, you chose analog on purpose.
Get help now.
Bye, everybody. You've all been great.